This is Colin O'Keefe here with Broc Romanek at the Practising Law Institute seminar on social media. Broc maintains not just one publication or one blog, but also manages 5 different blogs. One of the things that you mentioned at the beginning, you of course being writing on corporate securities law, but you mentioned at the beginning that you're also you're sharing personal things, not just related to the law, not just related to legal practice, but also you mentioned going on a college visit with with your son. What's the feedback that you receive from those different types of things, and what connections do you establish as a result of sharing more personal information?
Yeah, I think it's important that if you decide to blog that you show your authentic, your real self, because that's how people ultimately will connect with you and trust you. And that's really what blogging is all about, is creating a trust and a bond. And so by showing some personal aspects of your life, whether it be things from the past, which I sometimes blog about, or the present, those are the things when I go out in public and actually meet people for the first time. One, they already act like they know me. Sometimes I'm scratching my head. It's like, do I really know that person? But that's something that enables them to break the ice and be willing to come up and talk to me. They're not scared of me, even though I am bald, because I've sort of created that personal connection through the written word.
Mm-hmm. And then one of the things you touched on also in this session was, you don't allow comments on your blog, but you also have a very unique strategy for managing the feedback that you do receive via email and those types of things. Can you talk about that just a little bit? Because I thought that was very interesting in the way you managed that.
Yeah, early on I decided to not allow comments on the blog, and my goal was to instead receive the comments directly emailed to me. So I'm always encouraging people to email me their thoughts. And not that I would, I am not prohibiting comments because I don't want people to disagree with me. In fact, if people do email me and have extra gloss to add to the blog or disagree with me, I'll always ask if they want attribution if I blog further with that thought. And so oftentimes people will see on my blogs that you'll have what I call the anchor post, the first blog on a topic, and then there'll be follow-ups, sometimes 2 or 3 over the next couple of weeks, reflecting members' comments on my original thought.
Mm-hmm. And then another one of the big questions that always comes up is, how do you go about, managing your time effectively? How do you set aside time to manage the various aspects of your various publications?
Well, I try to manage my time effectively. I probably don't do it as well as I could, but I've become much better at being efficient blogging through the passage of time. You get to really, one, have an eye for what I call stories, ideas for blogs. And so when I see something that might be a blog, I'll take it and archive it. And I have, at any point in time, probably 100 unpublished draft blogs that I'll continue to add to. Some of them will never see the light of day. But a number of them, eventually I'll get enough content to build along that original scrap of information so that it's right for publishing. And so that's part of the process. I think that it's a learning curve, and you learn to manage your time more effectively. But my posts tend to be much shorter than some of the other lawyers I see out there blogging. I believe in 2-sentence paragraphs, maybe 3 paragraphs, and that could be a blog entry.
Perfect. That's all the questions that I had.
I have one comment. I first went to SEC Speaks in 1989, didn't know what it was. I was working at the SEC, and they said, here's a popular securities law conference to go to. And now here we are, whatever it is, 20, 30 years later. It's pretty amazing that a conference can go on so long. So congratulations, PLI.
Perfect.